My ex told me I was too upper class for him and left me, but 4 years later, he came back begging for another chance, and when I said no, he tried to ruin my relationship. Posted by you/no, cockroach, 3788. I'm Priya, and I grew up in a comfortable family in India. My parents are teachers, really big on education, and they always push me to aim high. I went to a solid school, got great grades, and by college, I had big plans, maybe a PhD, like my parents wanted. I was excited about my future and ready to put in the work. In my second year at university, I met Arjun at a campus event. He was in a different department, but we hit it off right away. He was smart, funny, and had this chill vibe that made everyone like him. His family wasn't as well off. They lived in a small town, and his dad had a regular job, but that didn't matter to me. I fell for him hard, and early on, I told him I'd make sure my family accepted him if it was okay with me. I was 20 head over heels, and thought love could handle anything. For most of college, things were awesome. We'd go on cheap dates, like grabbing street food or sneaking into late-night movies. We'd study together in the library, stressing about exams, and hang out with our big friend group, joking around about random stuff. Arjun met my parents, and I met his. My family's kind of formal, and his is super traditional, but I thought we'd figure it out. I was upfront about my background, and he seemed cool with it. We talked about our future, like maybe getting a place together after graduation, and I thought we were solid. But as graduation got closer, Arjun started acting different. He'd make snarky comments about my family or how I lived. If I bought a new outfit, he'd say I was showing off or wasting money. He started picking on my parents, especially my dad, for wanting me to get a PhD. He called it a fancy waste of time and said only elitists cared about that. When I got into a top master's program abroad, my friends threw me a party, but Arjun bailed. He said, "You didn't even get a scholarship. Your dad's just paying for it." That one really stung, but I brushed it off, thinking he was just worried about his own plans. I loved Arjun so much, and I know he loved me too, but his bitterness was getting to me. Everything turned into a fight. I started feeling bad for simple things, like ordering pizza for us, because he'd make comments about how I didn't understand real struggles. He'd get mad if I didn't know his family's religious rituals perfectly, saying I wasn't trying hard enough. When I pushed back, he'd apologize, saying he was insecure and scared I'd find someone better than him. It had calmed down for a bit, but then it'd start again. I was losing myself trying to keep him happy, and I didn't even see it. My little sister, Aisha, who was 15 then, noticed. One day, she sat me down and said I wasn't acting like myself anymore. She said I looked miserable and needed to think about what I wanted, not just Arjun. It was like a wake-up call. I started setting boundaries, like telling Arjun I wouldn't put up with his comments about my family. He didn't like that. He'd get defensive, saying I was too good for him and didn't get his life. One night, he called and said he was breaking up with me to save my life. He said someone like him could never handle a spoilt child like me. He accused me of planning to dump him once I went abroad, just to prove I was better than him. He said I wanted to make him miserable. I was crushed. I begged him to talk it out, but he hung up. For months, I barely ate, lost a bunch of weight, and cried all the time. My family was so worried, but I felt like I'd lost everything. After the breakup, I threw myself into my studies. I moved abroad for my master's program, worked my butt off, and didn't date anyone for 4 years. It was tough, but I grew a lot. My mom had a health scare during that time, so my parents moved closer to me. After my master's, I got a job that didn't pay a ton, but it made me happy, even if my dad thought I could aim higher. I traveled, made new friends, and started feeling like myself again. I rebuilt my life, piece by piece. A few days ago, I posted a picture on Instagram with my new boyfriend, Rohan. I've known him for years. His brother was my friend in the master's program. Rohan's kind, supportive, and makes me feel like I can be myself. I kept it low-key, just a soft launch with a photo of us grabbing coffee. I was so happy, thinking about how far I'd come. Then, I got a call from an unknown number. It was Arjun, using a college friend's phone. He was crying, saying he messed up and still loved me. Hearing his voice sent me into a panic. My hands were shaking, and I felt like I was right back in that breakup. I told him I had a boyfriend and hung up, but he didn't stop. He sent a bunch of texts from our mutual friend's account, saying he was immature back then, that seeing me with Rohan made him realize his mistake, and that he'd adjust to my family now. I couldn't believe it. I blocked that friend's number. Later, I called him and said I couldn't trust him for giving Arjun my number. He apologized but also got mad, saying I could have been nicer to Arjun since he was heartbroken. I was so upset. It felt like another betrayal. Aisha was furious and called Arjun a bunch of names, which actually made me laugh and calm down. I needed to get it off my chest, so I posted about it online. I used to think thinking about Arjun meant I wasn't over him, but now I see he left a scar, and it's okay to feel mixed up about someone who hurt you that much. Relevant comments. Commenter. Anonymous commenter. You don't owe him anything. He made his bed. Let him lie in it. Oh, thanks for saying that. I keep wondering if I was too harsh, but I know blocking him was the right call. Commenter. Anonymous commenter. It's not your job to fix him. You gave him enough chances. Oh, you're right. I tried so hard to make it work back then, but he just kept pushing me away. Commenter. Anonymous commenter. Your friend shouldn't have given him your number, or let him use his phone. Oh, totally agree. I feel so betrayed. I thought he was someone I could trust. Update. 25 days later, May 17th, 2025. Hey everyone, it's Priyo again. I wasn't going to update, but some stuff went down, and I figured I'd share what happened. After I blocked Arjun and our mutual friend, things got worse. Arjun started contacting me through almost all our old college friends. He'd message them, asking them to pass on his apologies or beg me to talk to him. It was a total mess. I ended up blocking a bunch of people, which sucked because we had a big friend group in college, and a lot of them knew both of us. Some of my girlfriends, like Neha and Kavita, told Arjun to back off and supported me. But most of the guys, except two, took his side. They'd text me, saying I should hear him out or give him closure. I was so frustrated. Why was this my problem? Cutting people off was hard. Neha, one of my best friends, is married to one of Arjun's buddies, Vikram. She said she could handle Vikram pushing me to talk to Arjun, but I could tell it was stressing her out. I asked her what I should do, and she suggested I talk to Arjun once to get everyone off my back. She promised it'd stop the harassment. I didn't want to, but I agreed, hoping it'd end things. Arjun called me from Neha and Vikram's place. I was already mad and asked why he was dragging our friends into this. He sounded like he was about to cry. He said he'd been depressed and had self-esteem issues in college, and he took it out on me. He said after we broke up, he realized how bad he'd been, and it made him spiral even more. He claimed he now saw that my background wasn't my fault, and he'd do anything to fix things. He said he wanted to reach out before, but didn't want to mess with my career. Seeing my Instagram post with Rohan made him panic that he'd lost me for good. He asked if there was any chance we could get back together. I was furious. I told him I love Rohan, and I'm probably going to marry him. I said even if that didn't happen, I'd never go back to Arjun or deal with his traditional family again. I told him he messed up my friendships by dragging everyone into this, and I wasn't going to let my own friends pressure me into getting back with someone who broke me. His apologies just made me madder, so I hung up. Neha called me later and said she and Vikram told Arjun they were done supporting him. The friend group finally started backing me up, saying they'd stop passing on his messages. But I was over it. We're in our mid-20s, not kids in college. I shouldn't have to deal with this just because I live far away. I told my friends they're on thin ice, and I don't want to talk to them much anymore. I need people who'll have my back, not make me feel guilty for moving on. Things are good otherwise. Rohan and I are happy, and he's been amazing through all this, just listening when I need to vent. My parents are doing better, especially after my mom's health scare. Aisha's killing it in school, still my biggest cheerleader. My job's going well, even if it's not some high-flying career. I'm focusing on the people who matter and feeling grateful for what I've got. I used to hear about crazy exes and think that'd never be me, especially since Arjun acted like he hated me after the breakup. But I'm glad I moved on. He can deal with his regrets on his own. More comments. Commenter. Anonymous commenter. You did the right thing. Don't let anyone guilt you into talking to him again. Oh, thanks. I feel so much better now that he's out of my life for good. Commenter. Anonymous commenter. It's sad that your friends didn't support you from the start. Oh, yeah, it hurts, but it showed me who's really there for me. Commenter. Anonymous commenter. Focus on your happiness. You deserve it. Oh, I'm definitely trying to. Thanks for the support.